of the cloud. All right, so the recording has started. Good evening.
Good
I'm going to
evening.
turn over everything to Brett. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yes, thank you all for being on the call today with us. Our first webinar for LAL Financial. Yes, first webinar.
Hey.
So we did create a guide called The 7 Pitfalls of Medicare. And the funnel is still out there, or the post where you can click on it and receive the guide via email. However, we thought it would be great also if we broke down each 7 pitfalls, but we're going to also call them traps. So the 7 traps to avoid when dealing with Medicare. And so Kia is our guest speaker of the day. She's actually going to be the guest speaker for the 7-week series. So we're going to be doing a live webinar every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern time to go over each trap or pitfall. So for today's webinar call, the first trap is higher out-of-pocket costs. So Kia, take it away.
All right, so can you guys see my screen now? You can see our little flyer?
Yes, we can see your flyer.
All right, so I'd rather do it like that because I was like, I don't want to feel self-conscious. But my name is Kia Johnson. I am a licensed agent. I sell life insurance, Medicare options, including Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements, standalone drug plans, and we also help people maybe to see if they qualify for extra help to pay for their out-of-pocket costs while using Medicaid or extra help from the federal government for their prescription costs. We also help any local programs in Florida, but we're licensed throughout the United States, so we are able to find programs that are available to our clients. So we recently launched a telesales division. So we were doing it in the field and now we're doing telesales. We started in June of this year and we're coming up on the annual enrollment for Medicare. So at that time, anybody who was a Medicare beneficiary can make changes to their plans. Usually it's from October 15th through December 7th. And the effective date of the change is, for the most part, January 1st of the following year. Most of the time, people are locked into that plan that they choose unless they have other special reasons that are defined by Medicare and Social Security for them to make changes. So the reason we decided to kind of start series was because we were finding that as we're helping our family members, we're getting older, they're getting older, we're being asked, can we help them choose a plan? And what we tell them is we don't choose a plan for you. We are licensed and certified with multiple different carriers in each state. So we can look at the plans and try to fit what is better for that person's circumstances. So in going over the traps of Medicare and the higher out-of-pocket costs, the initial thought process is for people who are choosing Medicare Advantage plans. A lot of times they're going by the commercials they see. You see Joe Namath. I saw one with Danny Glover. I want to say it was one with George Foreman. And these are people who are, when they were younger, when the people who are, baby boomers now and they're aging in, turning 65, these were their heroes. So they're trusting JJ Walker. Like, I don't know whose hero he was, but he's somebody's hero because people are calling, Yvette said that's hers. Dynamite. But so a lot of the changes that we're seeing is people are calling because of those commercials. But those commercials, they get you to think, they get you to call, but the calls are going to whoever is contracting with that commercial owner. So the owner is not the insurance company, is usually a marketing company. And they're very lucrative because people respond to TV, they respond to radio, but you could be anywhere. Like you could call someone in Nevada, you're in Connecticut, or someone in Florida, you're in New Jersey, and that person may or may not know the plans that are available to you, the programs that are available to you and your family, or they work for an individual company, so they only offer a limited amount of plans that are only available under the company they're contracted with. So we decided that now is the time for us to start, first of all, letting people know what we do. I think we're known as the life insurance ladies. And then somebody say, you
Right.
guys do Medicare too? And I'm like, I've been selling
Yes.
Medicare since 2011. But it was always, really for a company or only certain, like a side hobby, as opposed to really saying we can do this. Medicare is highly, 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 highly regulated. So you have to be very careful what you say, what you do. And then even just conversations like this, we have to make sure we tell you guys there's no obligation to enroll. You don't have to give us any personal health information. This webinar is for information purposes only. We cannot discuss any particular plans, any conversations that you want to have after the webinar. We can give you, we can put a link in the chat for our call center, and one of our licensed agents will be happy to talk to you. We're licensed in just about every state. There's a couple like Alaska, we're not, in Hawaii, we're not because we don't have enough plans, but we are licensed in every state. So the pitfall of higher out-of-pocket costs, why would that matter to a person? What we want to do is serve people who look like us, talk like us, dress like us. Like, let's be real, we're getting older. Some of us are disabled. We already have Medicare at 45, 50, 60 years old. Our parents have Medicare, our grandparents, our uncles, our aunts. We have one aunt who's going to be turning 65. I shall not say her name because she'll probably beat me on camera, but she wants us to
Yes,
help her
please
choose
don't.
a plan. No, I'm not going to do that. She wants us to help her choose a plan, and we're going to. We're going to help her choose the plan. But when you're considering the plan, one of the most important things that people hear about in the commercial, oh, you'll get more back in your Social Security check. You can get up to X amount of dollars in your Social Security check. Well, what they don't tell you when you hear that is that, and I'm not here to bash the commercials because what they're saying is true. The plans have dental, they have vision, they're Medicare Advantage, but when you're getting money back in your Part B, usually there's some type of trade-off on that plan. So some of the plans that give back money back in your Social Security, they don't have drug coverage. Some of those plans, they may not have over-the-counter allowance, or they may have very limited dental where you could just go get some cleanings. You don't get major services or dentures or implants or anything like that. So or their formulary for the drug plan, the formulary being in the list of drugs that are covered, may be very limited, or the doctors that you can go to in that area are very limited. So when I get a call from people saying, hey, I saw this commercial and I want to know how much money I could get back in my Social Security, first thing I'm going to ask them is, do you have any chronic illnesses? We can't ask you how, like what condition you have, but we can ask you, how healthy are you? How often do you go to the doctor? How often are you finding yourself going to the hospital? If you're a person in that circumstance, or you know someone who is, usually a Part B give back plan is what they call it, a give back or reimbursement, or it's called something disbursement. But usually that's not a good plan for someone who has to go to the doctor a lot, because the other part of the trade-offs are the co-payments, and you may have co-insurance, you may have a deductible, you may have a higher out-of-pocket maximum before before you realize, like, oh, I've spent 10 grand, but I got it back $177 in my Social Security check. Well, when you do the math, you have spent more money than that $177. If you go to physical therapy, or you know someone who has to go to physical therapy, for example, their co-payment is every time they go to that physical therapist. It's not for the series of therapy. So if you're worried about, oh, I just want to get this money back, and someone is just, and you call and they say, oh yeah, I have it in your zip code. Who's your doctor? What's your pharmacy? Oh, okay, well, what drugs do you take? And they don't take the time to explain, like, okay, what plan do you have now? What is it about the plan you have now that you like?
Right.
And is it just because you want money back in your Social Security? What if we could find a way to offset that Social Security Part B? If you're eligible for Medicaid, Medicaid pays that Part B for you. If you're eligible for low income subsidy, which means they're a little bit higher income, but not high enough that you don't meet the federal standards to be able to get money back, or to get assistance for your prescription drugs, your deductibles, and your premiums. What if we could find you a plan that gives you more options, that makes that Part B premium not hurt so much, because they're going to pay it regardless. A lot of people who are disabled, they're getting their disability money before they get Medicare. So you get disability consecutively 24 months. You have to, so 2 years basically. So in the 25th month, you are eligible now to get Medicare. Well, you're getting Medicare whether you want to get it or not. So a lot of times people have Medicaid to help with their actual physical medical needs, and then Social Security helps with their money. And then as soon as they're eligible for Medicare, that Medicare takes over, and here comes the Part B premium. And people are like, oh no, I needed that money, because of course they're leaning on that money for their, day to day. It's not that much in the first place. So to now have 100 and however much offset that, um,
Right.
usually people who are disabled have, by nature of being disabled in their income, they are more eligible for Medicaid and other programs in their area to offset that. So one of the things that we always want to talk to our members and our clients about is, hey, what do you have now? And what is it that you're really looking for in a plan? How often do you have to go to the doctor? I don't need to know what you go for. I don't care. And I'm not legally able to ask you these things, but I can legally ask you, how sick are you? Like, would you say you're chronically ill? You barely go to the doctor? Like, give me a scale, because then I'm going to try to find a plan for you that fits that bucket. And you don't have to get a lot of authorizations to go to specialists and things like that. So basically, in a nutshell, when you're starting to choose a plan, don't choose a plan just based on what's tickling your ear. Oh, you can get $300 in groceries. Okay, well, if you live in a bi-income apartment, that $300 grocery could be counted as income, and they could now make you higher in your income than what's allowable in your apartment complex or in your, Section 8. I'm not sure, I won't say for 100% sure that it's Section 8 that does it, but I do know sometimes, if it's housing authority, they can take that money that you're getting as far as like utility payments. They have Medicare Advantage plans that can help you with your utilities, pest control, believe it or not, pest control, um, the life alerts every month. Those are not usually counted as income, but anything like that's a grocery card that's transferable, they don't have a cash value, but they have cash connotation, and it looks like income because you can buy groceries, you can buy whatever you want at the store. Sometimes those programs can offset your income and make it look like you have higher income, because they actually ask for award letters from the insurance companies, and they're obligated to give your company or your housing person that information. So what, again, we're here to educate, we're here to help, we're here to make sure that, as we're getting older and our families are getting older, and people that we know that need our expertise, we want to make sure that we're available and our agents are available to help anybody in that sense. So again, the changes that can be made if you don't have Medicaid or low-income subsidy from federal government, most of the changes are from October 15th through December 7th. We can talk about the new plan starting October 1st. So we can't really do anything yet, which is why we're trying to, start the series now. October 1st is in a couple weeks. It's probably
Right.
next week. I know, because I've been traveling.
A
So
couple of weeks.
okay.
Yep.
And so we want to just kind of start leading up to that, start, getting people the information that they need. We also have a free, the guide is called The Pitfalls of Medicare, pitfalls to avoid. We're calling them the traps because, traps. So we're calling it the traps, but if you all want a guide, we can make sure you all get that. Also, we will send a copy of this recording for this live webinar, and we will also follow up with an email and get you guys the link for our calendars if you want to schedule time with us. We also would like for you all to visit with us for the next 6 Tuesdays. I know it's a commitment, but we're being mindful of everybody's time. The webinars will be an hour or less. We just want to provide you with the information, answer any questions that we're at liberty or that we can answer now. If we can't answer it, give you the opportunity to get on our calendar and we can discuss those plans and those options with you for you and your family or your family when the time is here. So thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for being here. We do appreciate it. And Aubrette is the host, but we just wanted to know if anybody had any specific questions. We're going to open it up for our panel now.
Yes, any questions, ladies? That's on the call. Go ahead, Miss Yvette.
Okay, so for because I'm inquiring for my mom, so I'm looking to change her coverage over. Will there be any changes with Medicare as far as like pre-existing conditions and not allowing beneficiaries to switch over?
What type of plan does your mom have now?
She has WellCare, but it's been a real headache with authorizations and because she has stage 4 metastatic breast cancer.
Okay, so the good news is there's no medical condition for Medicare Advantage plans that will deny a person from being able to change their plan. What you do want to make sure is the doctors are in the network for the new plan that you're considering and that there's a very low transition of care timeframe. So if she joins a new plan, because those are specialists, it's more, I'll say, to find the plan that doesn't require to have a referral from your primary care. So there are actually Medicare Advantage plans that are HMO plans where the specialist can say, yes, I would like a referral because I need to know why I'm treating this person. Mm-hmm. But once they have the plan of care, they're not, your mom wouldn't be required to keep going back to the primary care doctor for them to dictate where she can go and the treatment. So, there's other plans.
It takes away the gatekeeper type situation.
Yeah, like there's still the gatekeeper, there's still going to be her, they're still primary for the plan, but they don't you don't have to go here to get the referral, the paper, go, oh, okay, now I got to go pay the copay over here, then go to the specialist, pay the copay, then keep flip-flopping back and forth. The specialist owns that condition. The specialist can do all of that, order the test, do whatever they need to do. And there are plans out there that will allow that. What plans they are, I can't talk about it, but we can help. We can help you after October 1st.
With all.
Yes. But what else? What other questions did you have?
That was pretty much the major one.
Yes.
Just I don't want to go through the treachery that I've experienced with the carrier that we have now. It's just been a real mess.
Yeah, I hear.
Well,
not just with them.
Yeah. Well, what what I find happens is you touched on the whole commercial things, and these commercials are coming on in the middle of the night,
Yeah,
and she was all set, and she saw somebody on TV, and she switched the plan over,
yeah.
and I'm like, it
Why?
was just like incredible that it's kind of like they play on it, and she didn't know any better,
Right.
but then she's stuck with this plan. So I just want to make sure that we're changing to a plan with a reputable company that's trustworthy, that offers all of the advantages of the commercial insurance at the same time,
Yeah.
but also have those Medicare benefits in place. And they did use the hook, line, and sinker with putting this money back in your account,
Yes.
but again, as you said, that everybody doesn't qualify for those dual advantage plans if you don't have
Right.
Medicaid, or if you
Right.
happen to just be have qualified QMB, where
Right.
it kind of puts you, especially if we're talking about durable medical equipment and
Yes.
supplies and all that stuff, kind of goes out the
20%
window, and they
adds
don't
up
explain. Yeah,
really
it doesn't.
quickly.
They don't
Yeah.
tell you all of that.
Yes.
So I just want to make a smarter choice this time
Yes.
with
Now,
her.
because your mom doesn't have, does she have like an employer plan too, or like a
No,
retirement plan? Okay.
no.
So it's just strictly whatever Medicare Advantage plan she has, that's all the care she has, coverage
Yes.
she has. Okay. So we
Yeah.
will definitely we'll give you the link, we'll send you email and stuff, but we'll make sure that you have the link to set the time up, but I will work with you.
Okay.
I will do that, that's my girl. So we'll make
Yeah.
sure that she is okay and you're okay with the change, because there's a deeper dive we have to make and make sure that, again, it's a plan where she doesn't have to necessarily get the specialist. Like, the plan doesn't require, the specialist may say, I want, the doctor to send over the paperwork to let me know why you're here, but the
Yeah. So
plan doesn't
basically,
require
more
that.
or less a clinical referral and not a
Yes.
insurance referral.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So the plan doesn't require it. And it's still an HMO, so she's still, is kind of protected in that sense, where you will know what the out-of-pocket costs are as opposed to a PPO. But there are
Mhm.
also maybe other programs in those plans that can help based on her actual medical condition that she has. I wouldn't be able to help with that part, only
Right.
because as an agent, we only can get so much information from you, but there may be a chronic condition for what she has, a chronic plan for what she has that's dedicated just for people who have that condition. So we'll
Gotcha.
look and see, but we will find, based on what she has and your pain points, we'll look to find her something that's a better fit for her and for you, because I know it is, we help our grandmother, and she has other stuff, and I'm like, stop answering the phone. Stop talking to people. Stop letting these grocery people tell you you got food. If you need
Mhm.
food, we'll buy you some food.
If you got none, you got some food.
You don't need groceries.
Yeah.
So we're going through it too. So I definitely understand. And then she's, don't want to talk about her medical stuff, but she has some conditions where she needs assistance.
Mhm.
And so we have to do those kind of things too. But sometimes it's just uncomfortable, because it's like you change to being the parent, or you
You think-
change to being the adult, and they're like, but they're still not your child, and they let you know that
Yeah.
very often. Like, I'm
Yeah.
still the adult,
Yeah.
I'm still the mother, but then, we have to know best or better, because they always know best. But definitely
Yeah.
feel that pain. But we're gonna work with her, and work with you, and just tell her, don't answer the phone, don't call from these commercials.
Mhm.
Like I said, I'm not here to bash the commercials. They do what they need to do, but they're not, it's a commercial. It's just like Sprite. Like, they're not going to tell you if you drink a bunch of Sprite, it might hurt your stomach, but it
Yeah.
tastes, gives you
They're
energy.
not giving you the whole full story.
Exactly.
Sitting down with an agent like yourself,
Yeah.
or agents that we have, they'll be able to go through their
Yeah.
choices and the plans, and walk through what they really need, and not just
Right.
for a sale or a commission. We really are here trying to help our people,
Yes.
um, and make sure that they are okay with the right plans, as far as, so they won't have real higher out-of-pocket costs or get trapped into a plan, like you were saying. Now she's stuck and she got to wait until October 7th, or she switched and they didn't have her doctor, or they didn't have his specialist. Like that happens so many times.
All the time.
And then it's penalties if you try to change, and it's just a lot that they don't, they don't understand Medicare beneficiaries. So, so that's why we're here. That's part of why we wanted to help our clients, help our community. Any other questions that we have? I think that was it. So you both will get the, this is recorded, so you'll get the recording via email. We'll also, if you want, we can send you the guideline that has the 7 pitfalls or traps that we're gonna go over. And thank y'all so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes,
If you happen to have any questions later, we're open. You can email it to us, you can text it to us, you can post it, whatever you want. We're here for our people, our community. So we'll be back at it again next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's the second trap, would be unexpected medical bills. Yes. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us tonight, this evening, and we will see you all next week.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.